Hello everyone, FPL Willem here. I've just finished off my early thoughts video, and as I won't be, or at least I can't record in the coming weekend because I will be away the coming weekend, I had to immediately record my favorite Limitless team. So, welcome to my favorite Limitless team. I will start off with targets, then I will build my team, and finishing off, I will show you guys how it will look like through this match day, as some players play on the Tuesday, some players play on the Wednesday. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Let's move into the targets. Now, just before we move on to the targets, I always warn you guys that I will be uploading this or recording these videos early because I don't have time on the weekends. It's Wednesday this time, it's the evening just before the Premier League kickoffs, and things can change before the deadline. As I said, I have no time to make videos on the weekends, so you guys have to keep an eye on injury news yourself on the weekend, or at least I will try to put some injury news or just news in general on my Twitter there as well. So if you guys are interested, you could follow me on FPL Willem there. And on our last note, I will limitless myself this week. And if you want to know what my final team will look like, then you will have to watch my team selection video, which will be uploaded on a Monday evening. And on a Tuesday, I will always upload a picture of my team an hour or half an hour before the deadline. Yeah, and that's basically my final team there. So if you guys are interested, follow me on FPL Willem, and yeah, watch my last video on the Monday on my final team selection. But for now, let's move on to the targets. I've gone with my favorite targets here on screen. I like all of these targets. Barca against Dortmund, maybe a bit less as it's yellow, but all the other targets are great. In the goalkeeping and the defending department, it's often important to keep a clean sheet, get some ball recoveries and some threatening players in front of goal, as Gabriel is threatening. He's scoring a lot of headers. The teams I like in matchday 7 are in the defending department, of course, are AC Milan, Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, Arsenal and Liverpool, and you might be able to sneak in a Paris Saint-Germain there as well. Midfield and attack is always more focused on goals and assists. As for midfield, it's only -1 point if they get a clean, if they don't get a clean sheet. And here's basically any of the teams on your screen. A great pick here. Often you just go for the premiums. As with Limitless, there is no limit to the money. Hence, yeah, the Limitless name. So yeah, these are basically the fixtures you want to focus on. Let's move on to building the Limitless draft. And of course, with my Limitless draft, we always start, or with any draft, we start with the goalkeepers. And I've decided to go with Safanov and Oblak. Safanov from Paris Saint-Germain plays on the Tuesday, and Oblak from Atletico Madrid plays on the Wednesday. And it is a toss-up between Safanov and Neuer in goal for the Tuesday. But Safanov has the easier opponent in Salzburg than Neuer, who faces Shakhtar. It also leaves you with an option extra for Bayern Munich if you need it. Oblak is the easiest option for me, as Atletico, yeah, they are finding form in the attack and in defensive as well, and they will be playing at home against Slovan Bratislava. There's also a chance instead of Safanov, Donnarumma plays. So if you're thinking about those two and you don't know who to start, I would recommend just putting in Neuer in your team. But for now, these are my two goalkeepers to start. Now for the defense, I've decided to go with Kim, Langlais, Hernandez, Gabriel and Trent. Now, I don't think Kim, Gabriel and Trent need explanation, as they've got a great chance of clean sheet and maybe some attacking returns there as well. They're also great for ball recovery, so I think they're set in stone. I've gone with Langlais because Molina is injured and Langlais doesn't get as many yellow cards as Jimenez gets. He also gets some decent ball recoveries per match. He didn't start the first 3 games in the Champions League, but he did the last 2 and is playing consistently in the Spanish League there as well. If you don't trust him, you could go with Jimenez, who isn't that bad as well, but I just like Langlais a bit more because he doesn't get that many yellows as Jimenez gets. Hernandez isn't really doing the business so far, but at home against a Red Star, I think there is a clean sheet potential there as well. Hope he can finally get some attacking returns in there. Hoped he would get a clean sheet against Slovan in last game, but it isn't going all too well for AC Milan defensively. So he is replaceable, and the first one to come to mind is Hakimi, who plays away against Salzburg, who gets some attacking threats there as well. So if you don't like Hernandez because he isn't keeping clean sheets, you could go with Hakimi from Paris Saint-Germain. Now for the midfielders, I've decided to go with Bellingham, Salah, Saka, Musiala and Pulisic. And I think 4 out of the 5 are set in stone, but 1 isn't. And that 1 is Bellingham. Bellingham is becoming more important in the league and is also now on penalties if Vinicius isn't on the field. And Vinicius won't be there because he's injured for matchday 6. So that means Bellingham is on penalties above Mbappé, who missed it the last time against Liverpool. but Bellingham does play away against a tricky Atalanta side, who haven't been all that bad, to be honest. I expect Real Madrid to concede in this game, but I also expect some goals from them there as well. I'm in two minds basically with him, because Tielemans is also a great option from PSV, as he's playing against Brest away, but PSV, they weren't really doing well, and they really got away with the red card from the Shakhtar game, because they were 2-0 behind. They didn't really have any chances, but when Shakhtar got a red card, the game turned around. Otherwise it would have most likely been a 2-0 loss for them. Don't think there's a wrong choice, to be honest. Instead of going for Bellingham, you could go for Tielemans and vice versa. But only with the power of hindsight, you know what is the best choice. Bellingham is in a better team with a difficult fixture, and Tielemans is in a lesser team with a better fixture. And to add on, both Bellingham and Tielemans play on a Tuesday. So if you need a sub, you can sub them out on the Wednesday, both of them. Now, I don't expect to defend Salah, Saka, Musiala and Pulisic. All these guys have shown great returns, and most of them are on penalties there as well. Penalties sometimes might be a bit too much focused on, but if someone gets it, it's always a good feeling. So yeah, this is basically my midfield, front 5, or my midfield 5. Let's move on to my front 3. Now for the forwards, everyone knows now that Kane is injured. That means I've got some options there in front, and I've decided to go with Goalkeeper, Lewandowski and Alvarez. I'm not convinced with my front 3. As my midfield, defense or goalies, I like them a bit more. They're a bit more set in stone than my front 3. This is basically because the reason that Lewandowski plays against Dortmund away, and Alvarez is also a bit of an up and down for me. If Griezmann would have had some more minutes in the team right now, then I would have easily gone with Griezmann, but he isn't, so I'm not putting him in. Goalkeeper is an absolutely easy choice for me. He's playing away against Club Brugge, and he's smashing it against every team except for Arsenal. But yeah, I think there's different options that are great as well. You could also go for Ollie Watkins, who plays against a weekend Red Bull Leipzig. There's also an option to go with Jonathan David from Lille, who plays against Sturm Graz at home. Even Havertz against Monaco or Leao against Red Star are also great picks. As I said, I'm not convinced yet, but these are now my favorite picks. The weekend might change it for me. If you guys watch my team selection, which I will upload on a Monday evening, then you guys can see my Limitless team, as I will a Limitless myself. Now, as you guys can see, my goalies are Safanov and Oblak, and they play on separate days. I've said it before. Paris Saint-Germain, Safanov goalkeeper, Salzburg away, and Oblak from Atletico Madrid play against Bratislava at home on the Wednesday. So just great fixtures for them. I expect them both to get a clean sheet. If Salzburg doesn't work out for Safanov, at least Oblak plays against the worst team in the Champions League so far. So I expect at least one of them a clean sheet. You guys can also see that my players who play on the Tuesday all play away games. Now, it is not perfect, of course, but it is not the worst if you can sub them out if needed. So if you're going to take some risk, let them play on the Tuesday. And on the Wednesday, most of my players play at home. I'm doubling up on the Atletico defense, and I expect everyone in here to get some returns. And it's not even the worst that they play away, because a Kim against Shakhtar or a Musiala against Shakhtar and Trent Alexander-Arnold against Girona away. That's just, there's still great fixtures. It's just not at home. That's the difference. But at least you can sell them out on the Wednesday if needed. Maybe Lewandowski is a bit of a lesser pick, as he plays against Dortmund on the Wednesday, but for Lewandowski it's not really important if he gets goals against him, as long as he makes some goals. So it would be the worst if Dortmund come up 1-0 in the game, so Barca have to get on the front foot. But there is going to be a chance that you don't have to sub some of your Wednesday players in, and there's going to be a chance that if you won't sub any of them in, there's a chance you won't sub in Gabriel because he plays against Monaco at home, and you already have your clean sheets from your defense, or everyone on the Tuesday scored points, and there is going to be a chance that Gabriel gets a clean sheet then as well. But it's what happens. You just want to get the best picks from every team, and this happens with a limitless squad. So don't be sad if you have a big player on your bench on the Wednesday. It happens when you're limitless. Now, this was my limitless team. As I said early on, there are some league games to be played. Even at this moment in time, Chelsea's playing against Southampton. So rambling this video quickly off so I can watch that game. But just watch out for injury news or just some bad form from some teams. Hopefully I helped you guys a bit with picking some options for you guys, and maybe have some thought for food. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you guys in the wildcard video next up. Have a good one. See you guys later. Bye bye.